Her empire, the Ethern Dominion, stretched across thousands of systems, unified not by fear alone, but by something far more absolute: continuity. Valeth was immortal, not in legend, but in fact. Her body regenerated, her mind endured, and her memories spanned epochs. She had watched species rise, peak, and vanish into cosmic dust. Nothing surprised her anymore, except grief. The chamber of remembrance floated in silence, suspended above the capital world's core. Light from the planet's molten heart refracted through crystal walls, casting slow-moving reflections across the polished obsidian floor. At the center stood a single monument, not to a war, not to an empire, but to Princess Selara, Valeth's daughter.
Dead.
The queen's hand rested against the crystal, unmoving. She had commanded supernovas to be extinguished, timelines rewritten, civilizations erased. Yet she could not undo this. And so, when the human arrived, she almost dismissed him. The human who was not afraid. Elias Morin stood alone beneath the vaulted ceiling, dwarfed by alien architecture older than Earth's oceans. He was not a general, not a scientist of renown. He was a cultural liaison, a translator of meaning, not language. Chosen because the queen demanded it. A human, Valeth had said. One who understands loss. Elias bowed not too deeply. Too much deference felt dishonest. You asked to see me, your majesty. Valeth turned slowly. Her form was tall and radiant, composed of living light wrapped in ceremonial armor that shimmered with stored history. They tell me humans speak freely of death, she said. That you live briefly and yet intensely. Elias nodded. We don't have much choice. Her eyes, ancient, luminous, fixed on him. My daughter died protecting your species, Valeth said. She believed humanity was important. Elias felt the weight of that sentence settle into his chest. I want to know why, the queen continued. And I want to know what you would say to her, if she still lived. Elias swallowed. May I speak honestly? He asked. Valeth raised a hand. If you lie, your species will not survive my disappointment. Elias met her gaze. Then yes, he said quietly. I'll be honest. Middle. The question no one dared ask. They walked. Not through corridors but through memories projected around them by Dominion technology. Scenes from Selara's life unfolded in shimmering detail. The princess as a child, curious and unguarded. Selara as a diplomat, questioning doctrine. Selara arguing with her mother. She challenged me, Valeth said, voice tight. She claimed the Dominion was stagnant. Elias watched Selara's image carefully. She wasn't wrong, he said. The queen stopped. You tread close to annihilation, human. Elias nodded. I know. But you asked why she cared about us. Valeth gestured sharply. Continue. Elias inhaled slowly. Princess Selara didn't see humans as powerful or advanced. She saw us as unfinished. Valeth frowned. Explain. We change, Elias said. Constantly. Sometimes for the worse. Sometimes for the better. But we're never complete. Selara's hologram showed her observing Earth, cities glowing, borders shifting, people moving. She told me once, Elias continued, that immortality terrified her. The queen stiffened. She said living forever meant never being wrong long enough to learn. Valeth's voice dropped. She said this to you? Yes. Silence stretched. You believe her death had meaning, Valeth said at last. Elias shook his head. No. I think it had cost. Meaning only comes after, if we're willing to face it. The truth about the daughter. Valeth turned toward the monument again. She died defending a human colony, she said. Against my command. Elias approached the crystal slowly. She didn't die because of us, he said. She died because she chose. Vailith's energy flared. Choice does not excuse loss. No, Elias agreed, but it explains it. He placed his hand, tentatively, against the crystal. If Saylara were alive, he said softly, I think she'd tell you she wasn't trying to save humanity. Vailith turned sharply. Then what was she doing? She was trying to save you. The words hung in the air. Elias continued before the queen could react. She saw what immortality was doing to your empire.
To you.
You've been right for so long that nothing can challenge you anymore. Vailith's voice trembled. You accuse me of tyranny? I accuse you of being lonely, Elias said. For the first time in millennia, the immortal queen recoiled. The conversation that changed everything. You cannot understand, Vailith said. I endure so others may not suffer uncertainty. Elias nodded. That's what parents tell themselves. The queen's gaze snapped back to him. She wasn't rebelling, Elias said gently. She was growing. And growth looks like disobedience to those who've stopped. Vailith's form dimmed slightly. She laughed. The queen whispered. Saylara laughed at my certainty. Elias smiled sadly. Humans do that too. It's how we survive fear. Vailith sank onto the obsidian dais, not collapsing but sitting. What did she tell you? The queen asked quietly. When she spoke of me, Elias hesitated, then answered. She said you love the universe so much you forgot how to let things end. Vailith closed her eyes. Immortality had spared her death, but not grief. Ending. The queen who let go. For a long time, neither spoke. Then Vailith rose. What would you tell my daughter? She asked. Elias thought carefully. I'd tell her she was right, he said. That protecting something fragile isn't weakness. It's courage. Vailith placed her hand against the crystal. I would tell her, Elias continued, that her death changed things. Not because it was glorious, but because it forced a choice. The queen turned toward him. I will withdraw the Dominion's claim on human space, she said. Elias's breath caught. Not as mercy, Vailith continued, but as respect. The monument dimmed, its energy dispersing into the planet's core. I will let my daughter rest, the queen said, and I will let my empire change. She looked at Elias one final time. Your species is dangerous, she said. You make immortals question eternity. Elias bowed, deeper this time. That's kind of our thing. As he departed, the immortal queen remained alone, but no longer frozen in time. Across the stars, word spread. The queen who never changed had listened to a human. And for the first time in history, the Aethern Dominion began to evolve. Not because it was forced, but because a daughter once believed that endings and beginnings still mattered.